Okay, we're going to do one more meditation and then we'll have a break. And this third meditation is on how to see the Guru as Buddha.
Air condition.
Hmm?
Air condition.
Oh yeah, sure. It's okay? Right. So again, take a meditation posture, please, with a straight back. Briefly, there are different ways we can learn Dharma from others, not only from a guru. We can learn Dharma from our peers, our spiritual friends who are equal to us in knowledge. We share what we know and we listen to what they know. We discuss. Sometimes we disagree, we check up, we learn together. Secondly, we can learn from a more experienced fellow student, someone who has been studying and practicing for longer than us, and who knows a bit more than us. We don't fully agree with everything they say, but we find them helpful. Thirdly, we can take teachings from somebody who is very knowledgeable. For example, a geshe, someone who is fully trained in the teachings. And this person's knowledge is quite reliable, so we have great respect for this person. But none of these three is the Guru. The Guru is a special relationship which comes with special responsibilities. The most important, perhaps, and the most difficult, is to see the Guru as fully enlightened. Unless we can do this, we should not seek a guru. It wouldn't help us. In fact, it might do us harm. But if we find somebody and after a lot of checking discover deep in our heart I really trust this person and I can see this person as a Buddha, then we must sustain that for the rest of our life. Of course, we might disagree occasionally, but even then we must learn from that disagreement. Maybe it's a teaching. And if the Guru asks us to do something we cannot do, we can politely say, "I'm sorry, I can't do that." That's okay. Now, to help us understand that the Guru is fully enlightened, there are 4 reasons given. The first of these is that we cannot trust our own judgment of who is or who isn't a Buddha. Even the person living next door to us might be a Buddha. We don't know. Even if they have faults or appear to have faults, this might be a teaching, something for us to think about. When we look at things through red glass, everything appears red. And when we look through blue glass, everything appears blue. And when we look with our current mind, which is imperfect, we see everything as an imperfect thing. And we often distort things. Sometimes we meet someone and we think they're wonderful, and then later discover they are deceitful, or the opposite. Sometimes the first impression is that this person is not a good person. And then they say something or do something, and we realize we were wrong. The reality is that all material things and all processes of our mind are changing moment by moment. But we don't see them that way. We developed very fixed ideas about how things are. Actually, nothing whatsoever exists independently or separately from its own side. And yet that is exactly how we see everything. Other people, objects in our life, things in the environment, we see them all as if they existed without depending on anything else. Because our understanding of things is so distorted, we should not trust our view that our teacher is not fully enlightened. Whether or not the Guru is fully enlightened isn't the point. The point is that for our mind, we need to see the Guru as enlightened because only a fully enlightened being can lead us to complete enlightenment. It's for our mind that we need to see the Guru as Buddha, not for the sake of the Guru. And we can take as a Guru someone that we can't even speak to directly. Such as His Holiness Dalai Lama, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, Thich Nhat Hanh. These very great bodhisattvas are not available for us to meet personally. But we can receive advice in dreams, and sometimes when we sit in the teachings, our questions are answered as if they are speaking personally to us. This relationship depends on our trust that this being is Buddha, appearing in human form with all the faults of a human being, simply to communicate to me. Time has no beginning. Before this universe, there were previous universes. There were always countless beings. And there are always those who followed the spiritual path to complete enlightenment. And when they reached complete enlightenment, they were able to continue without effort, spontaneously benefiting others without ever stopping. These Buddhas, enlightened beings, are all around us, but we don't see them. We don't hear them speak. We cannot communicate with them unless they manifest in human form. Why would they stop working to help us? They don't stop. Life after life, they appear to us in the form of gurus. The Guru is the aperture or opening through which the realizations of the Buddhas flow into us. When the sun is very hot, and shining brightly, If we have a magnifying glass, we can create fire. In the same way, the wisdom or Dharmakaya of all the Buddhas is like the sun. The Guru is like the magnifying glass, concentrating the light rays of the sun and in our heart creating the fire of deep realization. The Guru is the doer of all the Buddha's actions. The Buddha explained that after he passed away, he would manifest in the form of gurus. This is a quotation from a sutra where the Buddha explained, "Even though I have shown passing beyond sorrow in this great world, in the end I have not gone beyond sorrow completely. Even though I have shown being conceived in a mother's womb in this world, it is just for my mother and father to recognize me as their son. My holy body wasn't born from the gathering of attachment. My holy body does not have sufferings of hunger and thirst, but in order to fit with the beings of this world, I also show hunger and thirst. I also show myself as an ordinary being to individual beings. I have had profound wisdom for countless eons. Even though I have passed completely beyond the world created by grasping, I show walking, sitting, and other activities. I show having headaches, stomach aches, backaches. I wash my legs, hands, face, and mouth, and I clean my teeth. Even though individual ordinary beings believe I have all these problems, my holy body has none of these problems." This helps us to understand how the Guru manifests as an ordinary human being with problems. But within that Guru, there is the pure body of an enlightened Buddha. So if we meet our Guru and decide this person is my guru, may we be able to maintain a pure view of that person as being a fully enlightened Buddha, so that we can progress on the path with deep understanding. Before we break, does anybody want to say anything or ask anything? I mean, today is not really for teaching, it's more for meditation, but it may be that some questions came up. You want to ask something, or something's not clear? Yes.
I found a little contradiction between the notion that we shouldn't oppose, once we have chosen the spiritual teacher, we shouldn't oppose anything of his deed. And in my humble opinion, it's a bit in contrast with the fact that the Buddhism always says, be intelligent, check by yourself and everything.
That's true.
So can you please?
I think the first thing you said, that we shouldn't oppose anything, is not quite true. We should still use the intelligence, and we should still question whatever we hear, even from the Buddha. The Buddha told us to do that. It's quite true, as you said. And the same applies to the Guru. If we see the Guru as Buddha, it doesn't mean that we just surrender our critical mind. We still need it. It's more to do with the deep respect that we have and the attitude, if I disagree with this, maybe I should check up. Why do I disagree? What is my disagreement? And usually when we disagree with our guru, we think about it much more than if we disagree with our friend. If we disagree with our friend, we just think, oh, my friend is wrong. But with the guru, we shouldn't really think like that. We should think very, very carefully before we reach a definite conclusion. Actually, even though my guru is completely wise, this is really what I think. It's not that we have to agree with everything. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's a really good question. Important, very important question, actually. Yes.
How do you differentiate between a guru and another term is often used, root guru?
Uh-huh. Actually, if you have several gurus, it may be that one of them really benefits your mind the most. And sometimes it's very clear which one that is, and then that one is called your root guru. But I know examples of Tibetan lamas also who say, actually, I'm not sure, I have more than one root guru. So it's not a big issue, really.
Well, I understand that we are the one that are supposed to choose a guru.
Yes.
But the guru has to agree or not. So basically,
Okay. So some people think, that you need to ask the person and they need to agree. Actually, among the Tibetans generally, it's not like that. It's more of a private thing. In fact, a few years ago, we were in retreat in France with Kadrila, who is a great lama, and many people went to see her, and apparently many of them asked her, please will you be my root guru? And then we got the message back from the abbot of the monastery. He said, please stop doing this. We find this very embarrassing. That's not the way we relate to our teacher. I had the personal experience with the one who I consider to be my root guru, Geshe Wangchen. After about 2 years of knowing him, something happened in my mind and I thought, wow, he is my personal guru. So I went to see him, wanting to share and see. I said, oh, Geshe-la, I think I realized you are my personal guru. He changed the subject. He didn't even discuss it. And even at that time, I thought, the reason is because he already knows that. And actually, it often is like that. The guru knows without anything having to be said. The main point is from our side. Do we feel, do we show that kind of devotion? Then the guru can feel it, they know. But the point about the guru is they treat all sentient beings equally. They are compassionate to all beings. Whether somebody sees them as the guru or not, they still help them where they can and feel loving compassion towards them and so forth. So they don't need to say, yes, you are my disciple or so forth. But it's usually understood, and after a while it becomes something just natural. It's a natural relationship, actually. It's similar to the parent and child. You don't say to your mother, will you be my mother? It's just comes. It happens. It's natural. And it's similar with the guru. Although it may be difficult for us at first, but some people have that experience, that it's just there. Okay.